Dear Melissa, I lead a large organization's new ops function serving product engineering and design. We are hiring a director of UX research who's going to own quant and qual data and have a large data insights team who has 1 to 2 team members embedded within each product portfolio. We also have a great market research team within marketing and more research within strategy and operations. There's plenty of process governance and project management work to do, but struggling to think about how we can provide value outside of those areas. When the other areas I typically see within product ops, data insights, and research are being owned by other teams. All right, so this is a great question, and actually one that we get into on this episode of the podcast with Hugo Froese, who leads operations at OLX. But one of the things that you should be looking at here is about building the bridges between these teams and product development. So just because research is being streamlined under a head of user research does not necessarily mean that the research is being made accessible for everybody who actually needs it. So what could you do to work with that team to figure out, hey, is this actually meeting the needs of the product managers? Are they using tools where we can actually pull research out and put it into product management tools that will help product managers a little bit better? All of those things could be bridged through product operations. It's the same with data. Just because we have data teams and they're embedded in different areas doesn't necessarily mean that we might have the right dashboards for the right people. You might have like 7,000 dashboards going on and none of them actually solve one of the problems, let's say, for the leaders. You want to work with the data team and figure out, again, how do you bridge that gap? So while you're not responsible for those domains, you are still responsible for figuring out how do I take these things that product development needs to streamline their workflow and to build better products? And how do I bridge the gap between these teams, go and be the liaison and be the person working with them and pull it into the relevant stuff? So you might be integrating tools to make sure that data flows more seamlessly. You might be advocating for the product development teams to these other teams to make sure that they are solving their problems as well. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to own that discipline all the way through. So instead, figure out what they're doing, what the scope of it is, what the intent is, and then figure out how do you bridge that silo and bring it back to product management and to the product development teams to solve their problems. That's how I would approach it. Thank you for your question on Dear Melissa. And again, if you have any questions for me, go to dearmelissa.com. Let me know what they are.